Driving through Sunset Beach on our way to Huntington Beach to JeepCare Center to get some upgrades on our steering components and try to eliminate the bump steer, or at least make it better. We drove this Jeep to Moab a couple years ago, a little over 700 miles each way, and on the freeway, and this thing, we felt like it was going to leave the road any minute. Bump steer, basically, the way they define it is when the driver's not giving any input to the steering wheel, the vehicle still wants to steer off course, and it can make for a long drive on the freeway.
Yeah, what we're going to try and do is eliminate some of that bump steer as much as we can. We're going to do that by, I don't think this is going to help our bump steer too much, but this is a nice upgrade to go ahead and do it while we're here, and that's the Rubicon Express disconnectable sway bar links.
So that'll help it articulate a little bit off-road better than it is now.
Yeah, once you get it off the road and on trail, this will help everything kind of flex and move and make the suspension a little bit more compliant.
Yeah, and right now I've got that rough country 4-inch, and that thing is really stiff.
Yeah.
It's like, if you watch video of me off-roading, it's just kind of bounding over everything. It doesn't articulate over anything.
Yeah, the rough country springs have quite a bit of arc to them. They also use a military wrap spring, and that's a pretty heavy-duty spring design. So they don't like to flex and do a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, one of the things we're going to do with the steering is we're going to eliminate the original tie rod and drag link ends, as those have a tendency to wear out. We're going to replace them with these nice, really heavy-duty Heim joints, which will probably be the last time you'll ever have to do anything on the steering linkage on this thing.
That'd be nice.
Real heavy-duty 120 wall DOM tubing for the drag link and the tie rod. And then 5/8 grade 8 hardware with pinch nuts, cotter pins, and necessary misalignment spacers so that everything clears. One of the other things we're going to do with this is we're going to give you a little bit of a high steer setup, because we're going to flip the drag link and tie rod to the top side of the steering knuckle. And that'll give you just a little bit more clearance from rocks and boulders and that kind of stuff. Well, the first step is get the tires knocked off of it, and then get the steering linkage off. Alright, so here we have the original style steering linkage with the addition of a drop pitman arm. We're going to eliminate that for a standard drop pitman arm. One of the reasons for that is the drop pitman arm puts excess lateral load on things like sector shaft bearings and the sector shaft, so that can cause the steering gear to wear out prematurely. It also puts a lot of stress on things like the steering box mount. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and replace all the original tie rod ends, and you can see this stuff's got quite a bit of plunge to it, so it is already fairly worn out. Getting that play out of the steering is going to help. In addition to that, we've also got a little bit of a clearance issue here because of the drop pitman arm. You can see how the tie rod end is rubbing on the tie rod tube.
So that's the stock pitman arm.
Yep. pushing there.
Looks like it go through now.
Should go through.
And does it kind of click into place there, or what?
No, it just
terms
the ring just goes around the post, and that's what kind of keeps it from backing itself out. So you just push it through, and then flip the ring like that, and
Well, they look pretty good.
yeah, they do. Yeah, so we drilled the tapers out of the steering knuckles here for the factory tie rods to a straight 5/8 hole.
Okay.
And do that 1, 2, 3.
So what are we putting on now, Dustin?
So now we're putting the drag link onto the pitman arm. Making sure we get our misalignment spacers top and bottom.
Now, were we flipping the drag link and the tie rod from what it...
So yeah, we're gonna go now to the top side of the steering knuckles.
And what's the name brand again on this steering arm?
Mountain Off-Road Enterprises.
Mountain Off-Road Enterprises. So this is a tie rod. So what are you doing now, Dustin?
Setting the toe angle. Right now I'm just trying to get the old original steering stabilizer mount out of here because we're not going to be using that with the new mount, with the new stabilizer.
Will the new arms and steering stabilizer help with play in the steering wheel, do you think?
Yeah, the new stabilizer certainly should. And the new heavy-duty linkage, you know, you had those worn-out tie rod ends too, so you know that's all going to translate into excess play,
Sloppy
steering, less direct steering feel.
So is this a new stabilizer bracket?
This is the new stabilizer bracket to the axle housing.
I'm looking forward to driving it.
legs of these U-bolts were sticking up too far and preventing the other bushing half and sleeve from sliding onto the end of the pin.
Alright, we're driving back from JeepCare Center, and Dustin got the new tie rod, the new drag link, the steering dampener, and the sway bar quick disconnect all installed. I can tell you that the steering is much tighter than it was. A lot less play. I don't expect that we'll get rid of all the bump steer. And when I drive on the freeway, I'll have a better idea of how much improvement we got. But definitely the steering is better. It's not as sloppy as it was. So, thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.